Shulfer9211 coming at you with another live video. This one's a duel against the guy says he has a dark magician deck. I've played him before, this isn't the first time. He plays the two versions, like the regular dark magician, and then he also plays the new support excuse me, the new support dark magician. Hiccups. Um so let's go. So I have Dark Magic Veil. I'm gonna click on each one. Then I have a Magician Souls, Apprentice Illusion Magician, Spellbook of Prophecy, and then a Circle. So if you know the strategy, your opponent's gonna negate everything. Remember, every turn you play, you have to have the mindset. Everything's going to be negated. Don't be like the 99.9 that they're crossing their fingers hoping they don't get negated. We don't do that. We live in the real world. We played in local tournaments. We know how the reality is. They negate everything. So you have to play everything thinking that they're going to negate it. So you start off Magician Souls, Dark Magician Girl. Obviously we can use an effect to draw. But I'm not going to, so we're gonna summon Spellbook Magician to draw 2 more cards and baiting them to see they didn't negate Magician Souls. They haven't negated Spellbook Magician. The guy actually did freeze when I played Spellbook Magician. He took a long time to decide whether he wanted to do something, and then I messaged him on the left corner. Besides on the side of the Dark Magic Veil, if you haven't noticed, there's white printing where we're messaging, we're having a conversation, and I tell him if he's okay. And then he just said he was sorry. So it took him a long time to decide. So then I drew into secrets, and then from there to knowledge, then drew 2 more cards. And then from there, discarded Dark Magician to make the Soul Servant live. In case they negate everything, my Soul Servant is live. Apprentice Illusion, get Dark Magician to my hand. Then Link and go into Anaconda, Dragoon. And if you notice, my board is empty. I have nothing else but the Dragoon. And this is what's in my graveyard. 2, 4, 6, 8. We got 10 cards in the graveyard already. And then we're gonna go ahead and activate Circle, because remember, Circle, every single card that exists in Yu-Gi-Oh has a proper timing, proper combos. So if you have Soul Servant, try to always chain it to the circle so you always draw something. You see a lot of people play it differently, and when they play the circle, it never gets nothing. So you want to make your circle live 100% of the time. Then that means every single time, 100% of the time that you get a Soul Servant and you have a circle, you should be playing them together. Don't try to activate it and then get your cards and then play circle and get nothing. I see like hundreds of players that they play. I don't want to name any names, but they play their Soul Servant apart from their circle, and that's why they hate circle. They have circle at 1 because what they say is circle never does anything. Circle never resolves. Guess what? That's a sign that they don't know how to use circle. So they should take circle out. Think carefully what they're saying. The circle never resolves. That's 100%. And then the second thing, circle never stays on the field. So remember what I always say, you don't really have to hang anybody or destroy anyone. Just let them talk. Just be quiet, let them talk. They hang themselves. So here's the question. If circle never resolves, that's 100%. And then if circle never stays on the field because your opponent destroys it, that's another 100%. Then ask yourself the question, why are they playing the circle if it does nothing? Don't you think that's interesting? So what's going on is they hung themselves. And then the second thing that comes after that, that's one of the reasons why they lose. That's why their percentage of losing is so high, because they don't know how to play their deck. It doesn't necessarily have to be Dark Magician. Anyone that doesn't know how to play their deck, their percentage of losing is gonna be high. They're not gonna be able to take negations. They're not gonna be able to come back when they're losing. They're not gonna be able to do nothing. And the other day I posted a Sword Soul duel, and they tell you um, don't let the tokens come out. Go look at it. I let all the tokens go through. I let them special summon everything. The guy special summoned like 3 synchros and his field was full, and I still blew it all up. The interesting part is that when you go see other duels, they beat their opponent by not even letting them play their cards. So their negations were helping them win the duel. And me, I have negations, but it's not necessarily why I win. Yeah, I win because I use my cards correctly. I look at different ways to use them. So circle with servant. So I'm gonna play Magician Salvation, but look at the cards that I stacked on top. Performa Bell or Karibo Bell. Um, I don't have it in my main deck. I just started putting it in just to see what it would do, like a testing. It's obviously worthless unless you play like a pendulum deck is the way that you play it. But I just have it in there anyways for fun. And then the skill drain. So you're gonna want to draw those 2 cards because the game is over. Skill drain, Eternal Soul Circle Dragoon. That's game over. This game is won. So you activate it, you draw them, and then he activates the hand trap. He negates it, right? And I always say, like, people, they're good at negating you, right? They're good at negating you. And what do I always say? The question is not can you can they negate you? That's never the question. The question is, can they take negations? Remember? So I negated them. Then Magician Salvation and Magician Salvation, and then Eternal, set skill drain. So remember, during my turn, he negated me. And you're gonna be like, well, you negated him. Yeah, but what really happened was he negated me. So the question is, can he take negations now? He negated me once. What happens if I negate him once? So he activates. Then I chain, negate the secrets, bring Dark Magician back, banish Dark Magician, activate Salvation, Dark Magician grow. He brings out Dark Magician and attacks, and then he loses connection right after. So lost connection. If you read at the bottom, he says GG, good game, and then he loses connection. Lost connection online is the same like surrender, because they don't want to deal with it no more, so they just surrender and leave. It's an angry fit. So I suffer from that. I suffer from people losing connection after I completely obliterate them. That wasn't even my trump card. I still had skill drain, and that's that. So there you go. Dark magic attack.